The campaigning is over. The people of Scotland are having their say. Across the nation, more than 4 million people are voting in this historic referendum with just a single question on the ballot paper. Should Scotland be an independent country? Well, my colleague Gavin Esther joins us from Holyrood now. Gavin, over to you.
Yes, hello from Edinburgh, and it's finally decision day for Scotland. More than 5,500 polling stations opened at 7 o'clock this morning. They'll close at 10 o'clock tonight, and it's expected voters will have turned out in record numbers. We should know the result early tomorrow morning. Here's our political correspondent, Ian Watson.
Morning. Can you come?
It's Scotland's biggest ever election, with record numbers of people registering to vote. Doors have been open since 7 o'clock this morning. Prominent politicians were quick to cast their vote this morning. The former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, cast his ballot in Fife, and Scotland's First Minister, Alex Salmond, in Strichen in North East Scotland. But this referendum isn't about the famous faces. There are no constituencies to be won or lost. It's a straight yes or no to the question, should Scotland be an independent country? And the referendum has already made history. For the first time anywhere in the UK, 16-year-olds get to have their say. More than 4.25 million people are registered to vote. That's 97% of those who are eligible to do so, and 100,000 of them are 16 and 17-year-olds. With so many first-time voters, Scotland's most senior election official is giving strong advice to ensure that every vote counts.
And the best way for people to ensure that their vote counts is to put one cross in the box next to the answer that they choose. But if, for example, a voter signs the ballot paper and they can be identified from that, then their vote can't count. If they end up putting a cross in one box and a tick in another, then that would again have to be rejected.
Here in Baillieston, in the east of Glasgow, turnout at general elections and in Scottish Parliament elections tends to be relatively low, but I'm told that in the referendum there's been a steady stream of voters. And more than 750,000 people have already voted by post. Their signatures are verified by officials, and these will be the first votes to be counted when polls close tonight. Each of Scotland's 32 local authority areas will be counting results. There are 2,600 different polling places around the country. From the outlying areas of Scotland, ballot boxes will travel by boat and helicopter. Polls close at 10 o'clock tonight. The final declaration will be made tomorrow in Edinburgh. Not just the future of Scotland, but the future of the UK will be decided. Ian Watson, BBC News, Glasgow.
And as Ian was saying, we know that polling stations close in just under 5 hours' time at 10 o'clock tonight. The results will then be counted in each of Scotland's local authority areas. Jeremy Vine explains how it all works.
Well, the voting takes place across 32 areas of Scotland, the 32 council areas, in fact. Let me bring them up for you. Later, when we show the results, it's green for yes and red for no. Here they all are, from Aberdeen City down to West Lothian, in alphabetical order. But what if I order them in terms of size? We see immediately Glasgow, with 500,000 people, is the biggest council area. Then Edinburgh, then Fife, then North and South Lanarkshire and Aberdeenshire. And going all the way over here, we get to the island councils, Orkney, Shetland, with 20,000 people in. So it'll be these really huge councils, Glasgow, Edinburgh and so on, that are watched particularly keenly on the night. Now have a look at the map of Scotland here that you'll be very familiar with. If I just change it slightly, I can use it to illustrate the position of those 6 biggest councils. I'll bring a line out of the council that relates to the size of the population. The longest line you can see is Glasgow. I'll make it flash. In the northeast you see Aberdeenshire, below Edinburgh and Fife, and to the west around Glasgow, North and South Lanarkshire. So those are the biggest councils. But of course voting is happening all over Scotland. The counting will take place pretty soon, and it won't be long before we know the result.
Jeremy Vine. Well, coverage of the results begins at 10:25 tonight on BBC One in Scotland. For the rest of the UK, Hugh Edwards will host a night of live commentary and analysis from 10:40 this evening as the count gets underway. Now back to you, Tim.
Gavin, many thanks. Police say they are now treating